potential upside to him, I think.
Andreas Vesalius completes the line for the Anglesey Stakes.
Led off in the Jebel Racecourse and Stables Anglesey Stakes, Group 3 for 2-year-olds over 6 furlongs, and it's Headman straight into the lead, followed by Andreas Vesalius, who moves in pursuit of his stable companion. They're closely followed by Beauty Inspire with 2.5 lengths to the Entertainer, and Daisy Piers, the sole filly in the lineup, has been pulled up. Continuing on towards the halfway point and coming right up the centre of the track, it's Headman with a narrow advantage over Andreas Vesalius and Beauty Inspire, and these are tracked a couple of lengths back and forth by the Entertainer. Coming past the halfway stage in the Jebel Racecourse and Stables Anglesey Stakes, it's Headman. On the left is Beauty Inspired. On the right, pushed along, is Andreas Vesalius. The three almost in a line. Coming under pressure is the Entertainer. Racing to the final furlong and a half. It's Headman and Andreas Vesalius. Not much between them. Beauty Inspire now being called on for an effort on the far side. The three abreast. Racing inside the final 200 yards. Beauty Inspire gets to the front from Andreas Vesalius. Headman can't go with them. Staying on is the Entertainer. But it's Beauty Inspire protecting his current record over 6 furlongs in the Anglesey Stakes. From Andreas Vesalius, Headman next, and then the Entertainer.
Yeah, it's first things first. Very sad to see that injury to Daisy Piers. It looked a catastrophic fracture. Commiserations to her connections. That's cast a bit of a shadow over this Jebel Racecourse and Stables Anglesey Stakes. But the winner is Beauty Inspire, who has retained that 100% record after his win here on Irish Derby weekend. Certainly, though, Donny was more workmanlike than impressive today, albeit taking on stronger opposition. What do you make of all that? What's your initial thought?
Yeah, well, first of all, just to echo your sentiments on Daisy Piers, Gary, sentiments with connections there. And yeah, look, it developed as a race. It developed into a very interesting race because Headman and Andreas Vesalius, they have gone forward in the past, and they both went forward again here. Headman was very sharply away, and he looked like he was travelling better than Andreas Vesalius going to the 2 furlong marker. And Beauty Inspire was just a wee bit keen early on. He kind of moved a wee bit to his right and was just a bit keener than ideal for Colin Keane. But then once Colin Keane asked him to pick up, he did, and he responded really well to pressure, and you have to admire that about him. He's done well to pick up and to see out his race as strongly as he did to get the better of the 2 Just for Brian horses. And then the Entertainer, who looked outpaced early on, he stayed on really well, and he wasn't beaten far in the end.
No, he was putting in good late work, the Entertainer, without managing to lay a glove, so to speak, on our winner Beauty Inspire. Now that we've seen him a couple of times, Don, what's your thoughts, A, on what you think might be his optimum trip? Both his runs so far have been in and around 6 furlongs, and B, in terms of what sort of rank he can take.
Yeah, look, he can go higher than this, I'd say, Gary. It's only his second run. He was very impressive the last day. He's not as visually impressive here today as he was that day, obviously, but he's taking on better horses. He's taking on horses who've been competing in group races, whereas he's just a maiden winner coming into the race. For all that he was an odds-on shot, I think you have to be happy enough with that. He probably didn't win like an odds-on shot like you would have expected, given that he was odds-on, but it's a good race, and maybe he was a bit shorter than he should have been going into the race. But I just think he looked a little bit green early on, didn't he, with the way that he moved to his right and just was a wee bit keen. And just when we pick it up and head on here, he's back on an even keel here. It doesn't look like he's travelling any better than Headman. It looks like he is travelling better than Andreas Vesalius, but Headman then comes under a ride. And then Beauty Inspire, when Colin Keane asked him to pick up, this is the impressive part for me. He's gone about his business very willingly. When Colin Keane, he just gave him a smack there. He had probably about 3 parts of a length to find on Headman on the run inside the final furlong, but he's found it and he's got to the front, and while they've kind of closed him down late on, it never really looked like anything was going to get back at him.
Just the reason I was asking about the distance there is, in the early part of the race, as you mentioned, he was quite free. I almost got the impression they weren't going quick enough for him, Don. And at that stage I was thinking, is this horse maybe one that could come back to 5? But then, as you say, after that he was actually able to finish it off very well. So
yeah,
who knows, he might even be worth a go over further.
Well, I'm actually thinking that he might be worth a go over further, because maybe it was just greenness early on in his race. It's only his second run, and he is bred for further. He's a half brother to Darwell Lyon, who won his only race over 7 furlongs for Elmery Holden at Lingfield, and his dam won over 1.5 miles in France. So on breeding while he's by Maymas. He is on his downside. He is bred to get even further than this 6 furlong trip. So, and I just like the way he went to the line. He wasn't going away from his rivals on the run to the line, but he'd done enough to keep them at bay, and it always looked like he was doing enough.
Yes, probably can be marked up on the bare form as we watch the conclusion of this Group 3 once again. Beauty Inspire then now 2 from 2, a Group 3 winner, and very interesting to see what sort of course connections chart for him going forward. 2-1 on favourite lands our third of the afternoon.